there, High Tides, it's Brendan coming at you live with the newest episode of Beachville News. Coming up first, it's the week of the mouse. Mickey, that is. It's Mickey Mouse's birthday.
Hello, High Tides. Did you know it's Mickey Mouse's birthday this week? Mickey Mouse was born on November 18th, 1928. That means he is a Scorpio. Scorpios are passionate, persistent, strategic, and very loyal. Mickey is 91 years old, and there is not one gray hair on him. Does he look old to you? All we can say, Mickey, is live long. We have enjoyed you so much. Happy birthday, Mickey.
We've had mouse, but now let's talk turkey. That's right, Thanksgiving is sneaking up on us, and we have something very important to tell you.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Take a look at this.
You might have thought that was cruel, but this is the reality of what happens to millions of turkeys every Thanksgiving. But when did this tradition begin? When do you think Thanksgiving started?
I think it started when the Pilgrims came to America, and while they were settling, they ate a whole meal with the Native Americans.
Definitely when the Pilgrims came over and talked to the Native Americans, and then they had a little culture and, came together.
It all started in the year 1621, when the newly arrived Pilgrims gathered at Plymouth for an autumn harvest celebration with the natives. In this feast, turkey was one of the main dishes because of its abundance in the wild. Ever since this first meal, the turkey has become an iconic representation for Thanksgiving. However, this has had a negative side effect since its inception. How many turkeys do you think get slaughtered for Thanksgiving each year?
I think around 2-3 million a year.
So a few million, maybe a little bit more.
46 million turkeys get hunted and slaughtered each year. This happens because more turkeys get bred each year, which also means more get killed each year. But not everyone eats turkeys on Thanksgiving. Others prefer different dishes. Let's ask our fellow High Tides what they eat for the holidays.
Cranberry sauce, beans, and corn.
Mashed potatoes or mac and cheese.
The fact that there's no school and the fact that I get to spend time with my family.
The holiday. I love it when all my friends and family get. Oh wait, I have none. Spending time with everybody. I get to see my uncle, my grandma together. Yeah. Yes. I would, because I already know about the holidays. Yes, of course. I love animals.
Well, High Tides, no matter what you do or eat to celebrate Thanksgiving, enjoy the holidays.
Thanksgiving is all about the traditions. We feel bad about killing turkeys, but we're still eating them.
Alright, do you know what Thanksgiving is?
Huh?
Do you know
the history of Thanksgiving? Yeah, you eat turkey.
Alright.
Thank you.
What do you do for Thanksgiving? How do you celebrate it?
I get around with my family, and we eat, and then I go to sleep. And then I do put up my Christmas tree.
Turkey or ham?
Turkey, duh.
Do you know the history behind Thanksgiving?
No.
What do you do for Thanksgiving?
Nothing.
Do you know the history behind Thanksgiving?
Not really. I learned in 8th grade, but it's been 3 years, so.
What do you do for Thanksgiving?
What do I do personally? My family comes over to my house and we just eat Hispanic food.
Turkey or ham?
Both. We always have both.
Do you know the history behind Thanksgiving?
No.
What do you do for Thanksgiving?
I go to either my dad or my mom's, and we usually eat turkey and other things.
Turkey or ham?
Both.
Do you know the history behind Thanksgiving?
Yes. When the Pilgrims came over here with the Mayflower, they helped the Indians, and then they had a big feast.
What do you do on Thanksgiving?
Oh, I usually spend time with my
Yes, I do. Squanto helped the pilgrims in the Puritan village, and he taught them all the ways to harvest all of the crops that were special to the New World. So that's how it was formed when they exchanged their different techniques.
Do you know the history behind Thanksgiving?
Nope.
Alright. What do you do on Thanksgiving?
Stuff myself until I pass out. Do you know the history of Thanksgiving?
No, I don't know all of the history. I know what I've been taught when I was little, where it was the Pilgrims and the Indians and coming to America and them sharing the Thanksgiving feast.
How do you celebrate Thanksgiving?
I celebrate it with my family. We always have a traditional Thanksgiving where we have the turkey, we have everything together, and more importantly, we spend time with all of our family, okay, enjoying ourselves, and it's usually very, very long.
Do you know the history behind Thanksgiving?
No.
Alright.
Explain it to me, please.
Okay, well basically, when you got the Pilgrims invading the Indians.
Really? That happened?
Pilgrims took the Indians, and basically what happened from there on out is that Thanksgiving began.
Okay, so go on. What's your question?
Alright.
How do you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Big family dinner, lots of football, lots of beer, you know.
There you go.
Ham or turkey?
Turkey all the way.
Alright.
Turkeys are delicious, but there are other options as well. So hey, turkeys are a tradition, but so is the Thanksgiving Macys parade. Let's take a look at the biggest parade of the year.
Isn't it just wonderful to see your favorite childhood characters floating in the air during the Macys Thanksgiving parade? Has it occurred to you whether these colorful balloons are safe? These big balloons are hard to handle. They need about 40 to 90 handlers. The balloons are high up in the air, and a pretty big problem is having them fall down on top of pedestrians. They're also very dangerous on windy days. The first of these rubberized horrors was Felix the Cat, who greeted parade goers in 1927. Unfortunately, he had a rough goodbye because he wasn't designed to deflate, according to Time magazine. Macys released him into the air, where he eventually popped. The next year, balloons were fitted with the release valves that allowed helium to escape in a week's time. In the meantime, Macys continued setting the balloons adrift and offered monetary rewards for returning them. High tides, make sure to tune into the Macys Day Parade on your TV.
Speaking of extravagant displays of capitalism, you can't spell Thanksgiving without Black Friday. Let's take a look into the #1 day for shopping therapy.
Black Friday happens after Thanksgiving when stores open early and offer many sales. These stores are often in the black, meaning that they are more profitable. But the true story of Black Friday is much darker. The term was first used when two investors, Jay and Jim Fisk, drove up the price of gold and caused a crash that day. It caused foreign trade to stop and the stock market to drop 20%. In the 1950s, Philadelphia police used the term to refer to the day between Thanksgiving and the Army-Navy game. Crowds of shoppers went to the city that Friday, and cops had to work long hours to cover the crowds and traffic. By the late 1980s, the term Black Friday had spread nationally with more positive red to black backstory.
Well, pushing through mobs sure is fun. It's important to stay informed. Let's talk about impeachment.
Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, Richard Nixon, and Donald Trump. What do they all have in common? They all have been impeached. Yet no U.S. president has ever been removed from office through impeachment. Only Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton have been formally impeached by Congress, and Richard Nixon quit before impeachment. But why are they impeached? Andrew Johnson became president when Abraham Lincoln got assassinated, and he was then clashing with Congress over how to handle Reconstruction. In 1867, he fired Secretary of War Edwin Stanton without the Senate permission. This means that he violated the Tenure of Office Act. Richard Nixon in 1973 was impeached after the Watergate scandal. Nixon fired the special prosecutor investigating Watergate. He quit before being removed from office. Bill Clinton, a lawsuit was filed by Paula Jones and was accused of sexual misconduct. Wednesday, November 13th, was an American historical event. It was the first televised impeachment trial for Donald Trump. Trump apparently used the powers of his office to pressure Ukraine to help his re-election by announcing investigations into his political opponents. What will be the outcome?
Oh, I sure did learn a lot about impeachment. Can somebody tell me what a quid pro quo is? Like, seriously, I'm so lost.
With all this talk about quid pro quo, it's easy to forget what it actually means. Quid pro quo is a favor or advantage granted or expected in return for something. Pelosi explains what quid pro quo is.
It's really important to know this. There is no requirement there be a quid pro quo in the conversation. If the president brings up, he wants them to investigate something, that's of his political opponent. That is self-evident that it is not right. We don't ask foreign governments to help us in our elections.
People have accused President Trump of pressuring Ukraine to investigate Biden's son for his dealings with Burisma Holdings. The movement to impeach Trump is indecisive as to what he will be charged with, if he's charged at all. They will charge the president with the law he broke. Recently, President Zelensky said that he did not feel pressure to do anything and has a great relationship with President Trump.
Testimony received today was far from compelling, conclusive, and provides zero evidence of any of the crimes that have been alleged. Carrying out the investigations the Democrats are desperate to portray as nefarious.
Well, that's our show for today, High Tides. Enjoy your Thanksgiving break and bye-bye.